Evening, everybody, and we're back with Rtg Mondays. Reloading ready. We are ready for Brazil, and we are building to a climactic end in the championship. It's getting very close now to the end of the season. We only have, how many races do we have? Not many at all. Let me have a double check. This will be the penultimate round, so we've got this week, and then we've got next week, and that is it. So things are going to get very, very spicy. There's a lot on the line. We had absolute drama last week with the two McLaren teammates colliding, coming together, and it resulting in Chuckle getting a DNF, which has affected his championship massively because Paul Jones went on to finish very well. So unfortunately, Paul has pulled a bit of a lead over Chuckle, 170 points to 148, but that is nothing that can't be overhauled in a couple of weeks, so anything is at hand. Also means Chuck is now closer to snatching that second place away from his brother, so it's all to play for right now. And because Chuckle did end up quitting and leaving his A on track, he has also got a qualifying ban for this week, so double whammy for him. That is going to set him back somewhat this evening, but Brazil is definitely one of those tracks that you can overtake on. It's very, very interesting. We have a couple of reserves in this evening. Most notably, we got well, actually no, Liebert isn't a reserve. I was going to say most notably Liebert, but who we're watching, he is not a reserve actually. He's joined full time, which is good to see him back in the league again. Many time RTG race winner and I believe championship winner as well. Very, very quick driver and one to keep an eye on. We'll see the track around Brazil here. Very short circuit, so you will get through and get an out lap and onto your flying lap very, very quickly. Also, tyre temperatures come into it a lot. It's very easy to overheat your fronts, especially when you're on that softer compound of tyres. But we will ride on or watch with Lee in the McLaren as it comes into turn one. Heavy on the brakes, getting it slowed down. Tuck it in as tight as you can because you can open up turn two. And then it's flat all the way around four. Or leading on to the second straight. This will be another overtaking spot come the race. And then you've got the very difficult 90-degree left-hander at the end of Sector 1. Very easy to run wide, invalidate and qualifying or get track limits in the race. Very, very fast right-hander up the hill. Easy to lose the back end as he goes light coming over the crest and then into the tight and twisty middle sector. Full of hairpins, but it doesn't feel like hairpins. It just feels very awkward, very off-camber, very just fiddly to get your car around, really. And then flat out down the left-hander and then into the final corner on the track, and this is a very important one indeed. Your tyres boiling on the front at this point, but it's all about getting that car out and onto this this main straight with as much speed as possible. DRS keep the shortest run to the line all the way up to the left-hand side, and there we have it. There's your opening run, 107.776. He's Liebert straight in on the money on this one, as we see a few people obviously got chucked down around having a bit of a pitting straight away. I think we're going to ride with Lee Craig because he might be, well, a Haas of AJ slots into second. Coming across the line, we've also got Mercedes, that is Prodigy, who's set a pretty nice opening lap as well to get us going. But let's go back with Lee, see what he can manage. And he's going to see himself into second, in fact, a 108.3. So, yeah, Lee Burt's time looking ever the more impressive, the more people setting laps here. We've also got Bugatti, who has showed very, very good pace in the wet in a little bit of practice a few of the guys were having just now, so that was quite an interesting one, but unfortunately invalidated on that occasion. And if not him, anyone else currently on a lap. I do believe Prof is on a lap as well. As he comes up to the line, DRS wide open. As I say, touch to the left hand side, keep the shortest run to the line you can, and into 6th place. He goes in front of Benson, but just a bit behind AJ. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve that one. Who's that in the middle sector? Somebody in the middle sector has GFO has crashed out in the middle sector. Didn't see what happened there, but a few people also on Outlaps chat as well was showing very good speed in the practice sessions running just before this race, so he will be one to keep an eye out on, or keep an eye out for, one of the two. As up the final corner he goes, absolutely pedal to the metal, flat to the floor, running out of battery as he gets towards the line. What's his opening lap going to be? Good enough for third, just behind his teammate. But when I say just, I mean only just. 108.348 compared to a 108.356. Very close between the bulls tonight. Aki going in there as well with a 108.6. I did miss that one. Currently good enough for P5. I'm sure he's happy with that. But Prof absolutely smashing his banker, and he must have made an error. So 108.293. That's a fantastic lap for the Aston Martin. And showing he's got what it takes to put his name in the hat to be a race winner this evening. I think looking by the opening salvo, Lieber is going to be a very, very hard guy to beat. Whereas we've got on lap T2 has invalidated. Bugatti still trying to go for a lap. Let's ride with him and see what he can manage. We've also got Paul, championship leader currently, slot himself out next to his teammates. Currently teammates 3rd and 4th, and then 5th and 6th at the moment as things stand. And just ahead of his teammate Aki, so it's a very impressive time from Aki there. But remember, this is the only the opening salvo of laps. You see Bugatti finally getting the time on the board. That's good enough for 9th place, and that'll keep him going for a little bit. Looney Man on a lap as well. Anyone else currently on a flying lap? I think T2 maybe, but he's run out of battery. He has invalidated anyway. Danny also looks like he's on a flyer as he heads into the middle sector, just missing the inside apex there. So easy to do, so easy to go deep on the brakes coming into that right-hander. And once again missing the apex to the right-hander, but so easy to do. Just these corners draw you in, and you want to take more speed into them than you actually can. Especially when those tyres start overheating, start cooking them a little bit too much on the front, and it's so easy to go in deep and really difficult to get the car rotated as you want. And that's good enough for 9th, displaces his teammate for that 9th spot. And once again another Alpine, 9 and 10 together on the grid as things stand. Royal Rumble as well hasn't set a lap yet. Looks like he's about to set a very slow one, or not bother. That might be an out lap perhaps. So let's ride on board with the Alfa Romeo. Only him and T2 yet to set a lap. Should be setting a lap. Chuckle and well, Chuckle's got a quali ban. I'm not sure about GFO, whether he crashed out or he's got a quali ban, but either way he won't be setting a lap time this session. And purple apparently for the first sector for Royal. A lot of mud and grass on the side pods of that Alfa Romeo, so he's already had a bit of a trip into the grass at some point already this evening. This looks like just a fairly steady run, just to get a lap on the board for the Alfa driver. Not pushing the limits where he could, but just need to make sure you get time on the board. Can make the difference. As up to the line he goes, and this will be a reasonably competitive lap time, and it is 8th position. That's good enough for 8th. So sees himself ahead of Prodigy in the Mercedes, and also ahead of the 2 Alpines. Got a few other people out on that. I'll show you who else is on a lap. Is Chuck on a lap? Not really sure. He is not. He's about to go on to a lap though. I've also got Lee apparently on a lap. Maybe, not really sure. I think he's about to go on to a lap as well. graphic not giving me very good information whether they're on an outlap or not. It seems to go before they get to the line, which is not so helpful at all. Also got Aki slowing down, he's not on a lap. They go back with Chuck in the other Red Bull as he leads his teammate away, both going for flying laps as we speak. So we've got Paul Jones Jr. now on a lap, and that looks like Lee has gone for a little bit of a spin. Lee has gone, well, where is he? I have no idea where he is anymore. He has gone off the track. Looks like he's lost the back end coming up that rise on that fast right-hander. So he won't be improving this time round. Still plenty of time left in the session though. So all is not lost. Chuck keep hugging the line. He does improve, and that's good enough to see him into P2 108.1, but still nobody yet to be able to break the 107 barrier other than Liebert. So really setting down the gauntlet. Liebert looking to take his first win on his return. He's a multiple race winner before. Very, very fast driver indeed, and very, very difficult to beat. You need to catch him on an off day or get him out to have a whoopsie to beat him. And he looks like he's going to be tough competition this evening already. Oh, his chicken and blunts, off he goes. And that is perhaps the world's most expensive lawnmower right now. As I say, so easy to do, up and over that rise. Very, very difficult. Corner, and there he goes again, round he goes. Aki is retired from the session. What has happened there? And Paul has had a 5-place grid penalty for collision with him. So this is the second race in a row that Paul and Aki have come together in qualifying. What is going on with these AlphaTauris? I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I do not know what to say. I'm actually going to message Aki and see whether he's online and see if he can reply, because that is 2 weeks in a row now. These AlphaTauris have collided with each other in qualifying. Maybe there could be a little bit of a feud going on there, towing each other or something. But we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But we'll watch Looney Man come up to the line. No, we won't watch him come up to the line because he's decided to come into the pit. We will watch Prof come up to the line. He's a 10th up on his time. Purple to the middle sector, and now this is looking like a very good lap. And Prof looking like he's got a fair turn of speed. Coming into this session, what's he going to do? A 108.0, so close to breaking that barrier and into the 107s, but not quite. But it is good enough to see him back up into P2. I'm sure he's going to be delighted with his performance so far this evening. Prof really showing that he's got what it takes to be fighting up at the top and at the sharp end of the grid. Prodigy does improve as well. On his lap goes a 10th quicker, only enough for P11 as things stand. Royal Rumble also on a lap as he goes up to the line. We'll see what he can manage. Doesn't manage anything. He is on an out lap apparently. We will watch Lee Craig. What's he going to do? He's also going on to a lap. Everyone pretty much going on to a lap right now. There's a little bit of a lull. Only 4 cars out on circuit at the moment. As we get towards the closing stages of this qualifying session, yeah, we see Prof run out of fuel by the looks of things. He's run out of fuel, so he was running that Aston Martin extremely lightly in order to get a decent lap time on the board, and can't say I blame him. It's the way to go. What's Prodigy going to do? He's going to come in the pit, so we're going to go back with Royal Rumble in that Alfa Romeo. up to the DRS zone. It is wide open. And up to the line he's going to come. Is he going to be able to improve? He certainly does. 9th place, 1:08.5. He's going to be happy with that. Let's go back with Lee, who is going to come in the pits. And he's not happy with his lap. So, well, we will go back with a few people on an out lap now as things stand. Tom and T2 to B2 currently just behind his teammates. There's a lot of teammate rivalries going on this evening. The two Alpines next to each other, the two Hasses next to each other, the two AlphaTauris were next to each other. Perhaps a bit too close to each other on the track though, because they did have that collision. The two Red Bulls were close to each other, but Lee just lagging behind a little bit at the moment, having not been able to get a competitive second lap on the board. David Benson has retired. He feels like he can't go any quicker. So in the pit lane, but we're just watching T2 the B2 is up over the rise, and he's lost the back end, and round the Haas goes, and into the wall he goes as well to get out of the way of the car behind, and that was perhaps very good thinking. Not sure if the Ferrari was on a lap. I think the Ferrari's on an out lap, but that is unfortunate for the Haas driver there. As we will see anyone else on a potential lap. Danny's going on a lap. Bugatti is on a lap as well. A lot of people on out laps. Paul Jones Jr. running beyond the track limits there and somehow getting away with it. I'm not sure how the game let him get away with that one, but he'll take it. I'm sure he will. He gets the car turned in, rotated nicely there through that last hairpin. In down into the final corner, very, very key corner. Apparently he's 4/10 down, so yeah, and he's backed off the throttle, so he looks like he's coming in, and that could well be his qualifying session over. It certainly is his qualifying session over. He's going to take no further part of this. Prof on an out lap, I believe. Oh my goodness, what has gone up there? Bugatti Sloven and one of the Hasses with T2, they have collided over the line. That is unbelievable. Drama plenty this evening. I don't know where to start. What has gone on this evening? It's two pairs of cars that have collided together. Lieber has invalidated his lap. Prof is on a lap currently. He was a little bit down in the first sector. We'll see where he gets. Chuck just behind. Blunt's not going to improve either. We're just going to ride on board with these Prof and Chuck then to see. I think that's where the main battle is going to be. And yeah, Prof going purple to the middle sector. We're going to keep on board with these guys. As, yeah, Prof flying up to the line. Can he further improve to cement his second or even snatch pole away? It is going to be a slight improvement, still in the 108 though. Is Chuck going to be able to snatch P2 off of him? He certainly is. 108.025. Oh my goodness, how close is that? You could not write that. Could not split them with a piece of paper as we see Chicken and Blunts go round in the middle sector. He's not going to improve. AJ's on an invalidated lap. Looney Man has absolutely no battery left, but looks like he's on a potential lap. T2 is definitely not on a lap. Looney Man, I cursed him because he is round, and he is definitely not on a lap now. And that is an interesting line, and I don't know what to say. But I am going to check my phone because I've had a message off of Paul. It seems Aki was on a flying lap, and Paul did not realise he was on a flying lap, and obviously just pulled in front of him or something like that. It has ended up writing him off. What a session. I don't know what to say. That is 4 people in total that have collided in the qualifying. This is not a race, guys. This is a qualifying session. You should be out there on your own. But don't know what to say. absolute pure drama. But there you have it. Liebert goes P1 early on and does not look back. Absolutely untouchable. Nobody could get close to him in the end. Nobody gets into the 107s other than Liebert. Chuck gives it a good go. 108.025. Lee Craig 108.029. And Prof a 108.031. That is insane. I know it's a short track, but wow. Wow, 0.006. 6 thousandths of a second separates 3 drivers. I'll tell you what, don't tune out because this is going to be a brilliant race. I cannot wait for this one. It is going to be raining though, so that could affect things. T2 and Paul both getting themselves 5-place grid penalties for those collisions with other people. I'm sure the stewards will have a lot to say about this after, but wow, how close is that? Liebert is your pole man. Chuck in second. Lee Craig in third. It's a Red Bull 2-3. And Prof sure will be happy, but also disappointed at the same time. Fourth, he had good potential there, and he could have easily been P2. But P4 for the Aston Martin. Paul Jones does settle up for fifth, but will have that 5-place grid penalty. And that could bring Chuckle into play because Chuckle's starting right at the back. And he's going to be looking to come through the pack. So that blows the championship wide open. We've got the top 2 in the championship currently starting P10 and down at the very back. So, yeah, keep an eye out for those two fighting through the field. What is going to happen tonight? I have no idea. It is full wets. As you can see, it is absolutely tipping it down with rain. It is meant to get dry by the end of the race. But we never quite know with Codemasters. It might dry out quickly. It might dry out a bit too slowly. So we'll see. I would expect to see people go at least to the intermediate tyres by the end of the race. That is the general forecast. I've just redone the settings, so hopefully maybe that does it. I've just turned everything off and then back on again, so hopefully you can hear me now. If you couldn't hear me before, we're going to get back with the racing for a little bit. If you are in the chat, do let me know if you can hear me or if you can't. One of the two. We will see, but with nobody really changing positions too much. The inter drivers pretty much just sticking with maybe dropping back a little bit from the wet weather runners, so not really. I think the wets are a little bit quicker at this moment in time. However, obviously, yeah, it's going to start getting dry pretty soon. And we see Prodigy in the pits, no doubt, for a set of intermediates. He's had enough of them. Chuckle still all over the back of Lee Craig. Been a bit of a messy race all round one way or the other for myself and everyone else here. As we see, yeah, Chuckle still all over the back of Lee. Prodigy dropping right to the back, having a little bit of a battle with David Benson here, as Prodigy looking to make a move past the Williams driver. Make sure we are also recording for the highlights. Chuckle is very close. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Lee Craig is round. He is round. He's unbelievable. He's been driving so well. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely devastated with himself for that. He is tumbling down the order, and he's even behind his teammate who was pitted for the inters, and that is getting. But that does release Chuckle now into P2. Let's see what sort of pace he's got. Can he match his teammate? Can he start wheeling in Lieber? Prof right behind. Can he stick with them? Bugatti all over the back of GFO. Is he going to make a move? I don't think he's brave enough to send one at the inside. He does that purple sector 1 though. Showing this track is definitely getting drier and drier. Quicker and quicker. He's all over the back of that Alfa Romeo, but can't find a way past. Unfortunately, looks like maybe he's got perhaps a little bit more downforce and a little bit more grip in the corners, but can't find a way past down the straights because of it. AJ and Paul running very, very close together on track as well. Paul trying to recover what was not a great qualifying, plus the grid penalty, and he's had a pretty abysmal start. And his championship rival Chuckle currently sitting in P2. Not satting, he's sitting in P2, one of the two. But all could change in this race. There's a long way to go. Prodigy gets past Looney Man a bit further back. We've got a couple of pit guys, Prof and Chuckle, in the pits for Inters, so they feel like it's time to go on those intermediate tyres. Chuck now goes fastest lap, and that could be the call for everyone to come in onto the intermediate tyres. So maybe Chuckle's come in at the perfect time. So the lead intermediate runner is going to be Danny. Oh, what has gone on here? Lee Craig has retired. Has he had a crash? It looks like he has had a crash, and that unbelievably has brought out another safety car, and those who have just pitted are going to lose out because of this safety car. And Lieber, Bugatti, GFO and Chicken and Blunts are going to be laughing right now, because they're going to maximise their pit stop. It's going to be a much slower overall pit stop because of the safety car, because everyone's going a lot slower, whereas they'll be going the same speed in the pit lane. And I would be amazed if we don't see these guys pit. It looks like it is definitely coming to the intermediate tyres. Yeah, definitely Lieber in. Anyone else? Bugatti, surely coming in. Yes, he is. GFO and Chicken and Blunts all in. You will see, I imagine, Danny and Chuck continue straight on. and they will take over the lead of this race. So will Paul and AJ overtake all of these guys in the pits. Ooh, I tell you what, it could be close actually. Paul, AJ and Lee Burt. This is going to be close. I think Lee Burt's going to have it. Yeah, I think Lee Burt is going to come out of the pits ahead of these guys. He certainly is. Unfortunately, it just weren't quite close enough. Chuckle now. Sub Royal Rumble, weirdly. Is P7. So, after a great run through the field and looking in a very prime position, this changeover has dropped him back a few positions, but I'm sure he's not going to be too disappointed considering where he's come from. And bearing in mind, he's got much fresher tyres than the guys up ahead, because everyone else is on 9 or 8 lap old intermediate tyres. So yeah, Danny, Chuck have track position over Lee Burt, but they do have much older tyres. So, but are the intermediates looking to go to the end of the race? Certainly, the guys that are pitted now could potentially look to go to the end. But will it dry out before the end? We'll have to see. You know, Williams in the pit. Was that Benson perhaps retiring? We're not really sure. In the pits, I did miss that. Does mean we've only really got Looney Man left to catch up. But that looks like an AI maybe in the Delta. Taking very AI lines, isn't he? And it's ghosted, so I have a feeling Looney Man may be disconnected. Didn't see it. If he has, I don't know where they go. Yeah. Keep the tyres warm them up, and we're gonna get ready to go back racing once again. Hopefully, at the end of this lap, Looney Man's AI should catch up the back of the pack pretty quickly. Just going to check chat very quickly as well. Surely we will see the message about the safety car going in this lap very soon. So we're going to go all eyes to the front. Danny leading this race against the odds. He's had a terrible run of form recently. It's such bad luck. Just been dropping it quite a bit. So good to see him up and at the sharp end of the grid. But he is on 10 lap old tyres, as is Chuck behind him. But Lee Burt got pole, has dominated this race so far. Only had Chuck for company, hounding him early on. And Danny is going. Once again, he's made a restart. And I tell you what, Lee Burt's had a really good restart behind Chuck. He's going to have a look to try and make a move. Chuck does move to cover it off. Danny goes a little bit wide, and I think that's going to allow Chuck a move round the outside. Can he do it? Not quite, but that's going to allow Lee Burt. Once again, this is fantastic racing from these three. And now Lee Burt has managed to make that move up past Chuck. And then it's cost the Red Bull dearly. Chuckle has made a move past AJ. It's gone up the inside of him. And yeah, back racing once again. Great stuff. Chuckle is Chuckle's round the outside of Paul. That's a fantastic move. And now at the inside of Chuck, he's carving through the field like there's no tomorrow. Obviously those fresh intermediate tyres really doing the business for the McLaren. He's just picking them off at leisure at this point. Absolutely fantastic. Scything through the field past his championship rival, past his brother, who's done so well. And I think fresh inters is the way to go right now. And he is on the back of Lee Burt already, who in turn is on the back of Danny. And this is starting to get really, really spicy now. Chuckle. I tell you what, Chuckle is going past Lee Burt. That looked like team orders, that did. Chuckle absolutely soared past Lee Burt. I'm sure Lee Burt led him past there. Must be for the championship. Yeah, Chuckle giving a little weave to say thank you. Team orders down at McLaren. So last week we had the McLaren teammates taking each other out, and this week we've got a new McLaren teammate, and he's playing the team game. Absolutely fantastic for Chuckle. Sure, he's very happy with that. Paul probably not so happy to see that. But up into 5th place he goes. Paul does have a big lead in the championship, so now because of that DNF from Chuckle last week, so he can afford to rest a little bit. Whoa, as Lee Burt gets a little bit of a wiggle on. Chuckle now all over the back of Danny. He is on a mission right now. He's carved through this field. And he's looking very, very good. He's getting a very good exit coming out of the final corner. I think he's going to have the move made before even it would be the DRS point. Obviously, we don't have DRS right now, but Danny looks like he's got quite a slippery car in a straight line. Chuckle goes fastest lap on his way to it. Up the inside he goes. Prof now goes fastest lap, but Chuckle has made the move and is up into the lead at this Grand Prix. And away he goes. He is released. I'm sure Lee Burt will now be looking to follow him through and secure a McLaren 1-2. But wow, what a comeback from Chuckle. Absolutely fantastic. From the back of the grid, he had an insane start on the first lap. He's dropped back a little bit, but with those fresh tyres has absolutely made it work for him. And is now looking strong for the win once again. Great racing. Great race from all these boys. You've also got Chuck sitting right behind. Paul just struggling a little bit further back on those older tyres. But yeah, Chuck all over the back of Lee Burt, who's being held up by Danny now. I'm sure Lee Burt looking to make a move. GFO and Royal Rumble swapping positions further back. Once again, teammates overtaking each other. Lee Burt gets a much better run out of that final corner over Danny. Now it's down to the wing levels. Who's got the lower wings? Lee Burt using that slipstream, but I think Danny has a very, very quick car in a straight line. Lee Burt, is he brave enough to send it up the inside? It's a very late move. I think he outbroke himself a little bit. And fair play, Danny giving him plenty of room, but he couldn't quite make the move. Stick Chuck now all over the back of these guys as well. Says, you make a mistake, I'm going to go for it. But Lee Burt now, the inside into the left-hander, and this time he's going to make it stick, and that's a beautiful move. From the McLaren. It is now McLaren 1 and 2 in this race, and don't you love it? From a McLaren fan, I am absolutely loving seeing this. This is brilliant. I just wish we could see it in real life. McLaren, if you watch it, hire Chuckle and Lee Burt as your drivers. Forget Lando and Oscar. Don't need them. Chuckle and Lee Burt, the dream team. And it's 1 and 2 for them. Yeah, making this work for them. Chuck now the next man to try and attack Danny, but he has the same age tyres as the Alpine, so I think he's going to struggle a little bit. You can see they just don't have the grip levels that the guys up ahead do. Prof and Bugatti, I think GFO's dropped down a few places. AJ's had a bit of a spin. AJ's had a spin, and that's, oh my goodness, has brought out a safety car. You are joking me. Absolutely unbelievable. There is no need for a safety car, Codemasters. I don't know what to say. I actually don't know what to say. Really don't want to say. Chuckle storming into the lead. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with the safety car. Whether he's got the moves made that he needs to, he's in the position he needs to, whether he's got a lead or not, I'm sure he's going to be happy either way to be leading this Grand Prix. And not only that, he has a rear gunner in Lee Burton, his teammate now, who we've seen is letting past already, so I don't think he's going to attack Chuckle for the lead. He's going to make sure that Chuckle secures the victory. And what are we witnessing here? Oh my, Prodigy. Absolutely got to hand it to you. I admire the bravery. But I think it's a little bit early. It is just too early. You're not going to get any heat in those mediums. Danny in the pits. That's an interesting one. He's going on the mediums as well. Wow. Wow. What can you say? It's brave. It's brave. I think it's a bit early. I think it's too early. But if it dries out in the next 2 laps, it's a genius goal. But look at Prodigy, he's struggling. He's struggling to catch up with the pack, and this is the next problem. Is he going to be able to catch up with the pack? Watch Danny as he comes out the pits. See what sort of grip levels he's got. This is a warmer because of the tyre blankets. They will go cold very quickly. Yeah, he's got no grip there at all. It is just too wet. Not drying out at the moment, but it could dry out very quickly. You just never know with this game. This is the problem. It's way too dry right now. Way too dry. Wet, sorry. Woo. Standing off a little bit. And the Alpine's struggling to keep it on the road even as we go. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Some of the leaders are coming in. Chuckle is going to risk it. They all think it's dry enough. I mean, that's going to lose him in a position to Danny, but yeah, Chicken and Blunt's in on the soft, Saki in on the meat. Yeah, they all think it's dry enough. And they have more information than I have up in the commentary box here, but it just looks too wet for me. If they can get some heat in those tyres, they can keep some heat in those tyres, it could be an absolutely genius move. I think that's too risky from Chuckle. I think given his position, he needs to be copying what Paul does. Paul comes in, he goes in. Whee, and there you have it. Yeah, a little bit slidey there on those tyres. We could see the safety car in this lap because everybody is starting to catch up. Chuckle really giving it large with the back end of that McLaren. I don't know what to make of this. But look, the track is drying. It is drying slowly. So the question is how slowly? We are going to get another lap of racing, and I'm sure that's exactly what these boys want. Yet look now, they're all pitting. They are all pitting. Lee, Bert, Chuck, Paul, Prof, all in. It's drying out, and you can see it is drying out as well. We've just spent too long under the safety car now. And that has turned out to be a brilliant call from Danny. It was a stupid call from him, but it really wasn't the time to go on mediums. But because he went so early and he managed to make it round, everyone's gone so slowly and bunched up. He's caught at the back of them, and then everyone's had to pit. It's also worked out for Chuckle going that early. It looked like a silly move, and I must admit, I really thought it was, but Chicken and Blunt's Aki up in 4th, AJ 5th, Prodigy 6th, Lieber down in 7th now, winning this race, leading this race most of the way through. Chuck in 8th, Paul in 9th, Prof 10th, Bugatti 11th, GFO 12th, Looney Man 13th, and Royal Rumble in 14th, rounding out the field. 3 drivers on softs, Chicken, GFO and Bugatti, everyone else on the mediums and looking to go to the end of the race, and I think that's the right call really. I don't think softs are the right tyre, they won't last to the end, not properly. And safety car is in this lap. See, yeah, Danny looking to get back racing. It was a reasonably late call as well from the safety car. And Danny is off going. We're back racing. The track has absolutely gone bone dry in the past lap, which is just ridiculous and unrealistic. But nonetheless, I'm sure all these guys are very happy about that. And no more wet weather. We are now dry weather running, and that means in a couple of laps' time, we're going to get DRS, you know. Lieber all over the back of Prodigy, looking to make a move. It was a McLaren 1-2 earlier. It's not anymore because of all that kerfuffling. Lieber will look to make amends for that. AJ all over the back of Aki, who's holding his own quite nicely indeed. Chuckle has managed to get past Danny. I completely missed that with all the fighting further back. So Chuckle back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Danny down to P2. Now Chicken's going to look to make a move. Prodigy and Liebert going side by side. Liebert round the outside of the Mercedes. That's a fantastic move. The Prodigy will go back at the inside. Chuck's now going to take advantage round the outside. Can he make it stick? I'm not sure, but it's going to allow Paul an invitation at the inside. But Chuck will have the inside going into the final corner and the better line out of it. And it's also going to allow now Paul a run on the Mercedes coming out of the corner. But you've also got Prof in that as well. They're all going to be getting involved in this one. I don't know where to look. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Prof, Paul and Prodigy, all the P's, but it's going to be Paul who comes out on top. Prodigy cuts the corner on the inside, gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Prof is now going to get a nicer run on him, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move up the inside, or is he? No, he's going to think better of it, and fair play. We're going to go back up here. Aki is all over the back of Chicken and Blunts on those softs. Those softs really not working for the Ferrari, and Aki looking very, very good for a potential podium at this place. At the moment, as it stands, he will get on the podium because of time penalties, but that Ferrari all over the place. AJ has a look at the inside of Aki, but can't quite make a move. Chuckle is running away with it up front. We're kind of ignoring him at this point because he's just in a league of his own out there. AJ very, very close to the back of Aki through there. Wow, unbelievable. And who is going to get the most of it? Aki's just dropped back a little bit now from Chicken and Blunts. AJ now all over the back of Aki. Aki holding on for dear life. He's using an awful lot of battery to try and stay ahead. Chuckle now goes fast as that. No surprise now that we're dry race running. Chuck beats that. Goes a little bit quicker. I'm sure we'll see that be beaten a lot more. Looney Man gets ahead of Bugatti, Sloven further back, but we do have DRS, and now DRS is active, so this is going to start creating some interest. Both Aki and AJ have DRS, but AJ is much, much closer, tucked in the slipstream, and up the inside he goes. Liebert, I don't know whether there was contact, but Aki is round. I didn't see any contact, but it did look suspiciously close. I'm sure the stewards will investigate that one if there was, but if there wasn't, it was just Aki dropping it on the throttle in his eagerness to try and defend. It is absolutely devastating for the AlphaTauri driver. I've cursed him once again with the commentators' curse. That is a shame for me, so I need to shut up more often. Chicken and Blunts now very, very close to the back of Danny. But I fear the damage is done. Chuckle is gone down the road, absolutely gone. And this is exactly what he needs for his championship, with his championship rival down in 7th. Chicken and Blunts will have DRS on the Alpine. Neither has any battery to use. Round the outside, Chicken and Blunts goes, but he goes way too deep. And the Alpine will happily hold that one all day long, I'm sure. And Prodigy is round. Prodigy has spun it at the first corner. That is gutting for the Mercedes driver. Absolute shame. AJ all over the back of Chicken and Blunts now as well. Really harassing the Ferrari driver. All of their battery lights are flashing. They are all using it. Their battery an awful lot. Liebert, don't discount him out of this fight as well. And Chuck right behind. All pretty much on the same tyres bar Chicken, who is on soft tyres. Should be quicker now, but they will die off and probably be overheating at this point as well. It has to be said. And AJ taking into the last corner. Can he get close enough to Chicken and Blunts to make a move? I'm not sure, but looks like Liebert's going to be closer to AJ than AJ is to Chicken. Who's got the straight line speed? Liebert has no battery left whatsoever either. So none of these guys really have anything to attack or defend with, to be honest. Just pure pace, pure speed and pure slipstream alone. And Chuck very close to the back of Liebert there, and he swoops to the inside. Can the Red Bull make a move at the inside? Oh no, there's a bit of contact. Liebert goes off the track, and I'm not sure whether he's left enough room or not. I could not tell from my angle. But it looks like he just touched the grass and just on the braking, and has dropped down, and that allows Paul back up now into 6th place as well. So he's got an extra position out of that. I'm sure he says thank you very much, Chuck, on that one. That is if Chuck squeezed him. We didn't actually see. I'm throwing blame about when I shouldn't be, really. Chicken holding on to the back of Danny. Can't make a move. Danny really holding this in a DRS train at this point. Nobody can quite make a move. But I tell you what, Chicken very wide there out of that final corner. And that's going to allow AJ a nice run on him. But I tell you what, Chuck's all over the back of these guys as well, and looks like he has quite a slippery car in a straight line. Is he going to be able to make a move? No, nobody's going to be close enough to get the inside of anybody there. And once again, we go for another lap. DRS train galore. GFO and Royal swapping positions further back. Once again, they've been at it all race long. Chuckle now has a 4.5 second gap, and Paul gets himself a 3-second time penalty for track extending, and that's going to drop him back quite a, well, at least 2 positions as things stand. Oh, Danny's round! Danny is round, and so is Chicken and Blunts. Was there contact between the two of them? I didn't see. But Danny has retired on track as well to boot. And that has now caused a safety car, and that, I've no doubt, will be investigated. Because that is against the league rules and has affected this race massively by bringing out another safety car. AJ Baker gets himself a drive-through penalty. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Oh my goodness, I don't know where to look, I don't know what to do. Who's pitting? Anyone pitting? Some people are pitting. Most people at the front staying out. Oh, it's very, very close to the end of this race. It's a brave decision to give that track position, but if you're at the back of the field, you've got nothing to lose. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to keep it. Once again, Monday tier really providing the goods. Just drama, excitement, left, right, and centre. Just never know what to expect from this, league. Well, you never know what to expect from this league, to be fair, but you never really know what to expect from this tier. You never know what you're going to get. So everyone from 8 downwards is on pretty much brand new soft tyres, so they're going to look to Let's move up the order somewhat. A few penalties. AJ Baker, oh my goodness. Second place, AJ. And you've got a drive through. Absolutely devastated for him. Devastated. But it will allow Chuck into second position. I'll leave the penalties up, actually, I'll tell you what for now. Yeah, it does allow Chuck will be promoted to P2 when AJ serves his drive-through, which obviously will be when the safety car comes in. Can't serve it under safety car, remember. And that will also then allow Paul up into a podium position, but here's a 3-second time penalty, and he's going to drop down the order with that. So this safety car really not helping anyone with a time penalty to their name. Let's bring a few of the guys at the back up into the fray, but once again it's been a safety car galore race. I've said it time and time again. If you're getting this many safety cars in a race, it really needs to be turned off, because it does not make the racing fair. It just throw your names in a hat and it's pot luck who wins. Just gets to the point where it does get a little bit silly, unfortunately. But no doubt we will get back running at the end of this lap regardless. Everyone going to be a bit slower then, not sure what was that about. Yeah, everyone caught up to the back of this safety car. Everyone in a nice little line. Chuckle trying to get some heat into his tyres. And there you have it. Safety car in this lap. Chuckle becomes the de facto leader. He can go at whatever pace he likes. He cannot overtake the safety car, and he cannot go until the safety car's in the pits. But after that safety car's in the pits, he can go whenever he likes. How early is he going to go? He's going to go now. He's going to go pretty early. That's a good decision. He's caught AJ Baker napping. Chuck is all over the back of AJ as well. No point fighting him too hard, because he does have a drive-through, but it is going to cost him time to his brother Chuckle up ahead if he doesn't get past pretty quickly. We've also got Liebert all over the back of Paul further behind. Again, doesn't really matter because of the penalties, but Liebert no doubt wanting to move further up the grid. Oh, Prof having a look at the inside of Liebert there as well, but not quite able to make a move. Aki and Bugatti going side by side. Aki making the move and up to 11th. There they go. Once again, it was a pretty clean, unexciting restart from the lads. This time around, only I think 13 drivers left out of 17. We've had a fair few retirements in this race so far. AJ is sticking with Chuckle, but he is just dropping out of a second. Is he going to take his drive through? Not this lap. No, he's going to continue and go for another lap. Chuckle will set fastest lap this time around, and that's going to get him an extra point, which could be absolutely crucial. He really needs to get a big points haul over Paul, and by the looks of it, he's going to get it, because Paul is under attack for Liebert, who has wasted most of his battery already. And just a lap of running, he is all over the back of that AlphaTauri though, who's holding him behind as hard as he can. Fair play. This is some great racing from these two. Paul absolutely on the edge of track limits there. Does not want to get himself another penalty. And who's that? That is Royal Rumble, who is off on the grass, and away and down the order he goes. We're going to go back with the leaders once again. Liebert looks like the most likely to get a position as things stand. He's all over the back of him. Aki looks like he's gone round. Aki has had another spin Lee Burt's had a little bit of a wobble on there as well. I was looking at the track map, and now he's dropped back quite a bit, and it's allowed Prof to go ahead of the McLaren. AJ Baker gets himself a speeding penalty for going in the pit. Fair play, he's actually in. Oh, yeah, no, it has given him a penalty. But there you have it. I've missed the end of the race because I didn't know what was going on. Chuckle wins in Brazil. Chuck will come home P2. I'm sure he'll be ruining what could have been, but he'll be happy that he got away with a P2. And at the end of the race came up very, very quick. Chuckle, driver of the day, and I don't think anyone can argue with that. Back at the grid to first. Absolute monster drive from him. I know the safety cars have helped to a certain degree, but they've also hindered him at times. But they had a fantastic first opening lap from him, and also that great call to go onto the medium so early as well. Secured him the place, and that's absolutely fantastic. As we see Chuckle celebrate. Chuckle runs away with the win and the fastest lap to boot. So that's maximum points for him. He's going to be loving that. Chuck, his brother, will come home P2. I'm sure he can't take too much away from that. Prof, fantastic podium from Prof in third place. He'll be delighted with that. Lieber probably ruined what could have been as well in fourth. Paul Jones will come home fifth. But again, a day of what could have been. He's dropped quite a few points to Chuckle now, but I imagine he will still maintain his championship lead for now going into the last round. But it does close the gap up and make things very interesting, and I cannot wait to see what goes down in Japan. Looney Man 6th, GFO 7th, Prodigy comes home 8th, Bugatti 9th, and Chicken and Blunts in 10th. But it's been a great race. Once again, drama. I'm sure plenty will be said in the stewards. I don't really know what to say. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. It was exciting, dramatic, controversial, and that's pretty much everything we've come to expect of this tier. And on to the season finale next week. It is all to play for. Chuckle and Paul. Who will run away with the championship title? Or will Chuck manage to steal it right at the death? Who knows? We will have to see. But until then, I bid you a good night.